Dear students, in this particular session, I will explain about the stress distribution in soil, which is nothing but the second module in your applied geotechnical engineering subject. As all of you are knowing, stress is nothing but the ratio of force or load applied on any body to the area upon which the load or the force which is applied. So, similarly here, when we take the soil mechanics, the stresses which are acting in soil, which are mainly of caused by two factors. So, first is nothing but the self weight of the soil, and the second is nothing but the load which is due to it, that is nothing but the structural load by means of an embankment or a structure or any building which is constructed on the soil. So, here when we take up the self weight of the soil, so the stress which is caused by the self weight of the soil, which can be calculated by using this particular equation, that is nothing but sigma z. Z resembles the depth at which we are considering the stress. So, vertical stress, magnitude of the vertical stress sigma z is equal to gamma. Gamma is nothing but the unit weight of the soil. Gamma is nothing but the unit weight, as you know, of soil, as well as the z is nothing but the depth at under consideration. So, depth at which we are calculating the stress. Okay, so that is nothing but the self weight of the soil, the stress due to the self weight of the soil, which can be calculated. Okay. However, in major applications which comes under the soil mechanics stream, so we will be dealing with the structural loads. Okay. So, in calculating the settlement which are caused by the stresses which comes under the structure, so that has to be calculated in a very accurate manner. Okay. So, this particular module, or it is nothing but the stress distribution in soil, which enables us in understanding the distribution of stress, vertical stress beneath the ground, beneath the any structure. So, how it is distributed horizontally as well as in the vertical direction. Okay. So, laterally as well as, so the vertically how it is distributed, so that we can understand, as well as the application of the same, or the knowledge regarding the stress distribution, which enables us to understand the settlement which is relevant to the any field condition. Maybe it is a uniform settlement, or maybe it is a differential settlement under any type of the load. Maybe it is a point load, maybe it is a uniform distributed load, etc. Maybe it is a strip load. Okay. So, in any shape, maybe it is a rectangular area, maybe it is a circular area, maybe it is a square area. So, there is nothing but what which can be calculated by using these concepts. Okay. So, in majority of these the application part, so that is nothing but in calculating these stresses or understanding the distribution of stresses in the soil, we will be using these two popularly known theories. Okay. First is nothing but the Boussinesq theory, as well as the second one is nothing but the Westergaard's theory. Okay. So, these two researchers have provided the systematic way of analyzing the stress which comes under any applied load in the soil, so that can be calculated precise manner, in a precise manner. Okay. So, these researchers have developed first for point loads, and later the values for point load have been integrated to give the stresses beneath the uniform strip load, uniformly loaded circular load area, and rectangular areas. Now, let us try to understand Boussinesq theory. The researcher named Boussinesq in 1885 proposed a theory relevant to the stress distribution in the soil. So, the assumptions of this particular theory are: first one, the soil medium is an elastic, homogeneous, isotropic, and semi infinite medium. Semi infinite in the sense which extends infinitely in all the direction from a level surface. Homogeneity means the identical properties existing at all points in identical directions, while isotropy indicates the identical elastic properties in almost all the directions at a point. Okay, so these are nothing but the first assumption. Okay, second one is nothing but the medium obeys Hooke's law. As all of you are knowing, that is nothing but the stress is directly proportional to strain within the elastic limit, which is popularly known as Hooke's law. The same Hooke's law can be applied in calculating the stress or the settlement which comes with the stress applied. So, after applying the stress, we can have considerable settlement in a building beneath the building. So, that also can be worked out by having the knowledge of Hooke's law. So, that is nothing but the soil medium obeys Hooke's law. Okay, the second assumption. The third assumption is that the self weight of the soil is ignored. In this particular theory, we are not at all considering the self weight of the soil. However, the structural load or the dead load of the structure which is considered. Okay, so by the help of which we can able to calculate the stresses at any particular depth beneath the structure. Fourth one is nothing but the soil is initially unstressed. So, we are not considering the initial condition of the applied stress. We are considering the soil as it is a virgin. So, that is nothing but it has not experienced any particular load. So, that way we are considering. Fifth one, the change in the volume of the soil upon application of the loads on it, which will be neglected. So, upon application of the load, as we are knowing, so there will be considerable change in the volume. Okay, so the change in the volume, so that we are not considering in this particular theory. Sixth one, the top surface of the medium is free of shear stress and is subjected to only the point load at a specified location. As we are knowing, in almost all the application of the load, when we are talking about the point load, as soon as it is applied on the surface, so there is nothing but the shear stress which is going to act in this particular direction. Okay, so that shear stress we are not going to consider in this particular theory. Seventh one, continuity of the stresses is considered to exist in the medium, and the eighth one is nothing but the stresses are distributed systematically symmetrically with respect to the z axis. So, that is nothing but what, if you are considering the vertical stress beneath any point load, so that we are considering the effect, that is nothing but which will be symmetric about its axis applied. This is nothing but the application of the point load, whereas the vertical stress which he believes to be applied or distributed in a symmetric manner. Okay, symmetric manner. Okay, so these are nothing but what, the assumptions of Boussinesq theory. Now, let us understand what are the equations which are proposed by the Boussinesq theory. Okay, here let us have the point load Q which is applied on the surface, which is shown in the diagram. So, assume that we are interested to calculate the magnitude of the vertical stress. So, that is nothing but sigma z value at a depth z beneath the load, okay. So, this is nothing but a 3D element we are considering. So, in the stress vertical stress magnitude at this particular depth we have to calculate now. Okay, so this is nothing but the point at which we are considering the effect of the applied load on the surface. Okay, so this particular point, so having the depth, that is nothing but the z, this is nothing but applied on the surface. Okay, so having the directions or the distance, so x as well as the y parallel to the x as well as y directions, and let us take r as the radial distance from the point of application or the line of application. Okay, r is nothing but the radial distance from the line of application. So this is nothing but the line, okay, along which the load is applied, line of application of the load. So the r is nothing but the radial distance from this particular line. Okay, so this is nothing but the various elements which are involved in this particular diagram. So using this, the equation was set out by Boussinesq. Okay, so the first equation, that is nothing but the sigma z vertical stress magnitude sigma z is given by 3q divided by 2 pi into z cube divided by r square plus z square to the power of pi by 2, where r is nothing but the radial distance, z is nothing but the depth, q is nothing but the magnitude of the point load. Okay, so sigma z is nothing but the vertical stress magnitude at z depth. Okay, so another form of this particular equation is this one. So sigma z is equal to 3q divided by 2 pi z square into 1 divided by 1 plus r by z the whole square to the power of pi by 2. You can note down these two equations on your notebook. While solving the problem, these equations which will be helpful. Okay, and the third form of this same equation is nothing but what, sigma z is equal to q divided by z square into ib. Okay, so that is nothing but ib is the influence, Boussinesq influence factor, Boussinesq influence factor. So Boussinesq influence factor, which is ib, written in the last form. Okay, so there is nothing, the magnitude of this is nothing but what, so if you take out q as well as z square from the numerator and denominator, whatever the remaining terms are there in this particular equation form, so that is the value of ib. ib is nothing but the Boussinesq influence factor. You can work out and you can identify the Boussinesq influence factor using the second equation and or comparing with the second and third equations which are shown in this particular slide. Now the pressure distribution diagram, using this Boussinesq theory, we can plot the pressure distribution diagrams. Okay, so the pressure distribution diagrams are nothing but the graphical representation of the distribution of the magnitude of vertical stress. Okay, so when we take up or when we calculate the magnitude of vertical stress which is applied on a surface load, on the surface of the ground, so then if we calculate at various depth what is the magnitude of the vertical stress, as well as it is symmetric one, so we can calculate what is the magnitude of the vertical stress when we go away from the point of application of the load. So that is nothing but line of application of the load. Okay, so then if we able to plot so the distribution diagram, so then we can call the same as the pressure distribution diagram, So by using this diagram we can understand how the vertical stress which is distributed in the body of the soil when the surface load which is acting on the soil. Okay, when the point load or any particular load, here it is nothing but what, Boussinesq theory, we are considering the point load, the assumptions were made. Okay, so here in this particular condition, when we take up the pressure distribution diagram, normally we will consider the point load only. Okay, now when we take up this pressure distribution diagram, there are two pressure distribution diagrams, namely isobar as well as pressure bulb. Okay, an isobar is nothing but what, an isobar is nothing but it is an imaginary line passing through the points of equal vertical stress, just like your contour in the survey. What it mean? So that is nothing but the imaginary line passing through the points of equal elevation or equal RL, which is called as contour in survey. So similarly here, when we take up isobar, so isobar is nothing but it is the imaginary line passing through the points of equal magnitude of vertical stress inside the body of the soil. So that is nothing but called as isobar. So such a isobar which is here shown in this particular slide. So this is nothing but the point load of magnitude P which is applied on the surface. So the isobars have been plotted here of various intensity of load. Okay, so maybe it is a sigma z1 is 0.1 q, 0.2 q, 0.3 q, etc. Q is nothing but the magnitude of the point load. Okay, so 10% of the point load, 20% of the point load, 30% of the point load, likewise. So if you plot, so we can get a smooth plot like this. Okay, so this is called as an isobar. Okay, so each particular one is nothing but isobar. So isobar number 1, isobar number 2, isobar number 3, like that. So this is nothing but what? The isobar. So by knowing the stress intensity, so that can be constructed. Okay, by knowing the stress intensity, we can construct this isobar applying the Boussinesq theory. Okay, so the two important factors we need to construct this isobar are nothing but the radial distance r as well as the depth z. Okay, these two factors must be known. Now the second one is nothing but what? The pressure distribution diagram, pressure bulb. Okay, pressure bulb. So the second sketch I have given a figure of a bulb, typical bulb. Everybody have seen this bulb, how it looks like. It is nothing but what? The surface, it is a 3D element. Okay, 3D element. So when this isobar is rotated about its axis, okay, vertical axis, so that we are going to consider the shape of a bulb. Okay, shape of a bulb which resembles the shape of a bulb. So such a pressure distribution diagram which resembles the shape of the bulb is called as pressure bulb. Or so the volume which is constituted by an individual isobar. Okay, an individual isobar. So isobar is nothing but what? It is a 2D element, 2D plot. So like this, it is nothing but what? Isobar. Now volume is nothing but what? It is a 3D dimensional entity. Okay, volume is nothing but 3-dimensional entity. So we have to consider 3 dimensions of this particular shape which I have plotted. So that is nothing but gives you the pressure bulb. Okay, so it is proved that why pressure bulbs are very much important in soil mechanics field. So it is proved that the depth of pressure bulb of intensity normally 0.1 q to 0.2 q, where q is nothing but the intensity of the load, applied load, varies generally from 1.2 to 2 times the width of the loaded area. Okay, loaded area. So that is nothing but width is B, capital B. Okay, so this concept is taken as a guideline for determining the significant depth for site exploration. So in the first unit of soil exploration, I had explained about the significant depth. So that means nothing but what? The depth up to which we have to explore the various properties of the soil. So that is nothing but the geotechnical engineer or site in charge has to focus up to this particular depth in understanding the type of the material which is there in the ground. So why it is chosen? Say it is nothing but in many of the applications, or it is nothing but for the many of the application, maybe it is embankment, maybe it is a normal footing, okay, maybe it is a file foundation, etc. So there is a guideline which was set out by the Indian Standard Code. So that has been taken on the basis of this one only. So that is nothing but what? Whatever the load we are applying, normally 10 or 20% of the applied loading intensity, that gives its influence up to the depth of 1.5 to 2 times of B, 1.5 to 2 times of the width of the footing. For example, if you have a footing of say 2 meter width, okay, 2 meter width, okay, 2 meter width. Now its influence is going to be at a depth, so nearly 1.5 to 2 times of this. Say 1.5 take, so 3 meter, okay. So from this footing level, okay, footing level, so we have to consider 3 meter, okay, we have to consider 3 meter for our soil exploration program. So this depth is very much important, and the same depth is called as what? Significant depth. Significant depth. Okay. So this is regarding what? The meaning of significant depth and how it is related to the pressure distribution diagram. Okay. Or it is nothing but pressure distribution. Okay. Now, in this particular session, I will discuss the construction of an isobar. Okay, so we will take one illustration here in this particular session. We will try to understand how an isobar of intensity 0.1 q can be drawn by knowing or by applying the Boussinesq equation. Boussinesq equation. So the Boussinesq equation is written over there. So sigma z is equal to 3q divided by 2 pi into z cube divided by r square plus z square to the power of pi by 2, right. So now it is asked to plot an isobar of intensity 0.1 q, okay, 0.1 q. So here first we have to form one particular equation which will have both r value as well as z value, as we have discussed in the previous slide, that for considering for drawing or for plotting the isobar, two entities are very much important. So two parameters are very much important, which are nothing but the radius as well as our radial distance as well as the depth at which we are considering, okay, or the depth of consideration. So here let us have the intensity. So that is nothing but what? Sigma z is equal to 0.1 q. Sigma z is equal to 0.1 q. Like this we have to start, okay, plotting the isobar. So we are discussing now. So it is given that 0.1 q is the loading intensity. So loading intensity is nothing but stress here. So sigma z is equal to 0.1 q. Now when we apply or substitute sigma z is equal to 0.1 q in this particular equation, so it will appear like this. So 0.1 q, which is equal to 3q divided by 2 pi into z cube divided by r square plus z square to the power of pi by 2, to the power of pi by 2. So q get cancels, okay. Now this is nothing but what? We will simplify this, okay. When we simplify this, the equation takes this particular form. So r square plus z square to the power of 5 by 2. So the denominator part I have shifted here. So which is equal to 3z cube divided by 3z cube divided by, so 2 pi into 0.1 is there. So which is nothing but what? 0.2, okay, 0.2 pi, 0.2 phi, okay. So this will, it is nothing but the form we will be getting. Now here if we further simplify the RHS, the right hand side of this equation, so this nothing but what? So r square plus z square to the power of 5 by 2, which is equal to 4.77 z cube, 4.77 z cube, okay. So now if we further simplify this, so r square plus z square to the power of 5 by 2 is equal to, so 4.77 we will shift this, we can shift, okay, this 5 by 2 we can shift here in the right hand side, we can take that. So r by z square, okay, which is equal to, so 4.77 z cube to the power of 2 by 5, okay, 2 by 5, okay. Now if you further simplify the same equation, okay, so this will take the form like this. So r square plus z square, okay, so which is equal to, if we simplify further, so 1.87 we can take, or 868, okay, z to the power of 1.2, z to the power of 1.2. So this is nothing but what? The equation form. So after simplifying, okay, So r square plus z square is equal to 1.868 z to the power of 1.2. So finally, if we simplify further, the equation we will be getting of this kind. So r square, which is equal to 1.868 z to the power of 1.2 minus z square. Okay, so this equation you need to remember. You can mention on your notebook or the steps involved, okay, behind this, which also can be noted. Okay, so just note this equation: r square is equal to 1.868 z to the power of 1.2 minus z square. So let us take this as equation 1. Okay, equation 1, right? So now we will further move. Okay, so that is nothing but what we have now expressed the entire equation in the form of r as well as z. Okay, r as well as z. Now further, so again we will consider the same equation. Okay, sigma z is equal to 3q divided by 2 pi into z cube divided by r square plus z square to the power of 5 by 2. Now here, as we know, the isobar is nothing but what? Isobar is nothing but it is a symmetric diagram. So it is nothing but the load which is applied here, q point load which is applied on the surface. Okay, so this is nothing but the line of action of the load. As it is symmetric, I have shown you how a isobar appears like this in the previous slide. Okay, so this isobar is nothing but what? It is symmetric about in the lateral direction. It is symmetric. Okay, now in order to plot this such an isobar, we should know what's its vertical extent. Okay, or it is nothing but the maximum depth z, okay, at which the radial distance becomes 0. Okay, radial distance becomes 0 for a given point load, okay, or loading intensity. So that is nothing but what? As you closely move in the vertical direction, the r value, it is getting increased. Okay, it is increasing, it is a peak. Okay, after that it is decreasing, and it will be reaching to 0. Okay, so by putting the r value is equal to 0, we have to calculate now what is the maximum depth we can reach. Okay, so that is nothing but the depth. So that only will be giving you to will be helping us to establish the boundary of this isobar. So boundary is nothing but this one. Okay, boundary. So let us do that one. Okay, so now in this particular equation, what we will be doing, so sigma z, as you are knowing, so 0.1 q obviously. Additionally, we have to substitute r is equal to 0. Okay, so let us see how the equation changes now, or how the equation can be modified. So 0.1 q, which is equal to 3q divided by 2 pi, okay, z cube divided by 0 plus z square to the power of 5 by 2, right? Now if we simplify, q get cancels, so 0.1 is equal to, so this is 0.477, okay, z cube divided by z to the power of 5. Okay, so we can shift this, the z to the power of 5 to the left hand side like this. So z to the power of 5 divided by z cube, okay, which is equal to 0.477 divided by 0.1. Okay, 0.477 divided by 0.1, right? So now if we solve further, so this is nothing but z to the, in the left hand side, what is that? Z to the power of 5 divided by z cube is there. Okay, so this works out to be z square is equal to 4.77. Okay, if we simplify further, the z value will be, okay, you can take the square root, 2.184 meter. Note that 2.184 meter. This is very much important. Okay, this is very much important. So this is the extreme boundary. Okay, so our isobar should not cross this particular depth. Okay, 2.184 meter. So, okay, z is equal to 2.184 meter. Let us mark this. Okay, now what we have to do here in the last stage, we have identified the boundary of the our isobar. That is nothing but the z is fixed here. Z is equal to 2.184, beyond which the isobar will not cross. Okay, so we have to calculate now what are the various radial distances. Okay, within this particular depth. Okay, so it is isometric, so that is nothing but isobar. So it is symmetric about its vertical axis, so that can be easily, those points can be easily marked, and later isobar can be plotted. So we can make a column. Okay, we can make the column like this for calculation purpose. So z value, we will give the different z value in the particular equation number 1. Okay, and we have to calculate what are the different values of r, okay, from that particular equation number 1. Okay, so the equation number 1, so I will write here what is that equation. So r square is equal to 1.868 z to the power of 1.2 minus z square was equation number 1. In this particular equation, we are considering the different values of z from 0. Okay, from 0 to maximum is nothing but 2.184. Okay, so within which we have to calculate what are the ranges of r in meter. Okay, so within this different range, so that is nothing but the 0 to 2.184 range. So we will select different values. Maybe it is nothing but what, after 0, 0.5 we will have, 1 meter we will have, 1.5 we will have, 2 also we will have. So we will see what are the different values of these are. Okay, so that it can take. Now when we consider, okay, the different values of r. Okay, so that is nothing but what, for the different values of z, the applied adopted values of z. So it will be something like this. So this is nothing but what, the z value in meter, r value in terms of meter. Okay, so it is nothing but 0. It will be 0 only in the initial condition. Okay, so 0 only. Okay, or if it will have nominal value 0.1 or 0.01, like that, minimum value it will be having, least value. Okay, because it is nothing but what, we are considering the condition like this. So this is nothing but 0.1 q is the intensity of the load. So immediately in the surface of the earth, so the stress intensity is nothing but what, the r value is nothing but 0 only. Why? Because like this it is going. Okay, like this it is going. So it will start like this. Okay, our pressure, the isobar, it will start like this. Okay, so immediately beneath this the depth z, r is equal to z is equal to 0, r will also be 0. Okay, now here we will try to calculate the different values of r using the different values of z. Okay, so z is nothing but 0.5, as I said. So for 0.5 you can calculate and you can check the value of r is nothing but 0.75 meter. Similarly 1 meter you take, so it will be coming around 0.932. Okay, and 1.5 if you take, 0.89 will be the value, and 2 meter you take, it is 0.54 will be the value, and finally 2.184. Okay, 2.184 you take, It's something, it is nearly, the value will be getting around 0.000 something 1 or 2 like that. Okay, it will be considered as 0 only. It is very much negligible quantity. Okay, so there is nothing but what, 0 only. So now using these various values of z as well as the radial distance r, we can able to plot an isobar. Okay, so on a graph paper you can take, so the depth you have to mention here, 0.5 meter, 1 meter, 1.5 meter, 2 meter as well as 2.184 meter. And here in the horizontal direction also you can mention, so r is equal to, maybe it is 0.5, 1, 1.5, 0.5, 1, 1.5 we can mark. And we have to go on plotting all these points. Okay, so then join with a smooth curve you will be getting. It is a, always you remember that the isobar is nothing but it is a smooth trace. Okay, so every transition on this plot it is going to be smooth. Okay, so then only it is called as an isobar. Okay, so likewise you have to, you can complete then isobar. So just it is an exercise you can as an exercise you can take. Okay, so on a graph paper, normal graph paper, you can take this point load of intensity 0.1 q, and you can mark the r values along this axis, r value along this axis, z value along this axis. Okay, so that is nothing but vertical axis. Okay, r value on the horizontal axis, you can take the different values and go on marking the different points as I said. Okay, and you will be getting at the end a beautiful isobar. Okay, so this is an exercise for you. You can practice in your home. Okay, and you can attend, or you can in the next session along with that assignment. Okay, so with that I will be closing this uh, discussion on isobar, and we will be meeting in the next session with some more pressure distribution diagram. Okay, thank you.